So we're going to start doing our David Hockney landscape, and like it advises in the presentation, we want to start off with a couple of rows of hills, and we would like to have our path obviously wider in the foreground and then should go to a vanishing point in the distance to create the feeling of depth and perspective in your painting. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start off with our hills. Now it's up to you how you want your hills to look. Do you want lovely rolling hills? Do you want jaggy hills? Do you want them to look really steep, etc.? So I'm going to have one very steep hill and then a couple of smaller, more undulating hills across the way. Then I'm going to have another row of hills, like so. Then my path, you could have it from the middle going away in the distance, or you can have it from the side. So I'm going to do it from the side here. It's going to go way up into the distance and go up into this mountain. And it's going to come further apart here because that's closer to us. And then what I can do is I can rub this bit here out and do a kind of little bumpy effect so it looks like the path is going over the hill there. Okay. Then, like it said in the PowerPoint, you want to add your trees, and it's up to you whether you want tall straight trees, whether you would like trees that have got lots of foliage on them. The key thing is to have your trees larger and wider in the foreground and then smaller and skinnier in the background, so that that also contributes to the feeling of depth in your painting. So I'm going to do some trees down here on the left hand side. They're going to be big chunky wide trees because they are close to us. So there's one. Then I'm going to do another one. Big chunky trees. Like so. Maybe just do two. Then I'm going to do some smaller ones in the distance. Those ones will be skinnier because they're further away. And I'm going to just put those ones here like that. Much skinnier because they're way in the distance. Like so. And remember, you can have different types of trees. So what I might have is a kind of like a row of quite small kind of bushy like trees here. So I'm going to put those there. And you can think about what types of trees do you see when you go home at night or on your way to school, etc. Think about your path on your way home and what does it look like. Where do you walk? Around Thornhill or Pen Punt or wherever else you might stay, or in Dumfries, etc. And then what you can do is I'd rub these bits here away, because obviously the tree's blocking my view of the part of that path there, and these bits here. I might draw some trees that have got more branches as well. So what I've done here now is I've added some pattern and some different types of marks to the landscape. This was something that was very common in Hockney's paintings to give a lot more detail and look a lot more exciting. So in the background I have separated that section off in the hill to make it look like it's a field that's been ploughed, and that's what all the stripy bits on it are. I have done some sort of jaggy spikes in the foreground here to show that this has maybe got long textured bits of grass. You want to think about what things could you do to your landscape that would show the textures of different elements in your drawing. So for example, I might add lots of little curves in these trees here, which would also help to create an effect that there's lots of rounded leaves on these trees here as well.